Good evening, I'm Jenny Renovich in tonight for Scott and Ann. And we begin tonight with an update on Washington Square Mall. Many of you have expressed concerns about its condition and its future, calling it an eyesore on the east side. Well, now a county leader says there's progress. Our Ella Rhodes has the push for a fix.
Music still plays, dim lights flicker, and business spaces sit empty at the Washington Square Mall. Property manager Keith Lee Jr. says the property owners, Durga Property Holdings, inherited problems when they bought the mall 6 years ago in 2019.
Countless problems since we've had the property. I mean, a lot of them things that we did take care of over time, it just kept getting worse and worse.
Marion County court documents say the county's health department found 4 current violations on the property: roof leak and ceiling damage, inadequate AC and heat, and 2 outdoor violations for high weeds, grass, and trash, and compounding daily fines as a result. Lee says they are currently fixing the violations before their court date this week. They will eventually address other problems, like the lights. 13 News asked when people will see the renovations.
There is no time deadline. It's just to be able to stay into compliance with the health department and with the building department.
City County Councilor Michael Paulhart says a primary reason he wanted his council job was to fix the mall. And for years, he hasn't made any traction until now.
I'm really thankful for the health department in this case, holding him accountable. We tried through BNS, the code enforcement, and we got nowhere. And so we seem to be getting somewhere with the health department and the current judge, and it's just keeping the pressure on him.
Hart says he's tried but hasn't made contact with Durga Property Holdings. But he's speaking with possible developers about purchasing the mall. Lee says that is an option.
It's not going in the direction that it needs to go, and so whether it's the current owners fixing it or somebody else coming in, that's the direction that we've got to really get into.
Lee says he's committed to improving the space.
My goal is to take it into a better light.
The property owner's next court date is on September 18th. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
The Indiana Department of Corrections says it'll now begin sending millions of dollars owed to counties for holding prisoners awaiting transfers. According to our partners at the Capitol Chronicle, the DOC owes more than $6 million to 41 Indiana counties. This comes after months of delays. The department typically pays local jails for holding state prisoners until they're moved to a state facility. State law requires inmates to be picked up within 5 days, and then county jails get payments for each additional day someone's held. Here in central Indiana, Delaware County is now set to receive nearly $216,000 in back payments. Hendricks County will get more than $171,000 and Marion County $579,000. All right, property taxes, a hot topic this year at the State House. Lawmakers passed a bill that reduced property taxes for homeowners. But now the Hamilton County Auditor's Office says there was a miscalculation in figuring property values. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker shares the potential impact on local budgets.
As the saying goes, the math just ain't mathin'. The Hamilton County Auditor's Office has gone back to the drawing board to figure out the county's property values. Auditor Todd Clevenger says the do-over comes because of an error that happened when trying to calculate the county's property values under Indiana's new property tax law. SEA 1, passed by Indiana lawmakers last legislative session, has several new provisions in it. Among them, a new formula for calculating how much of a home's value can be taxed when that home is over $600,000. Simply put, the auditor's office used an old formula instead of the new one. Using the old formula, the auditor's office calculated a greater net assessed value for property in Hamilton County than they would have if they had used the new formula. Net assessed value essentially means a county's tax base, what local governments use to figure out how much they can collect in property taxes. According to the Hamilton County Auditor, once they fix the error, Hamilton County's net assessed property values will actually be about $625 million less than what they first calculated using the old formula. So what does that mean for towns and cities and school districts in Hamilton County, especially ones that have the most homes valued over $600,000? It's possible proposed budgets will need to be reworked. The Hamilton County Auditor said in an email to 13 News, quote, "It's possible, but we are working diligently to finalize the corrected numbers as quickly as possible so communities can move forward with their budget process." Last week, Carmel Mayor Sue Finkham presented the city's 2026 proposed budget to the Carmel City Council. At the time, Finkham said services like police and fire would see no budget cuts in 2026, and taxes would not have to be raised to make up less property tax revenue under the new property tax law. A spokesperson for the city says right now they are not reworking the proposed 2026 budget, saying in a statement, quote, "We will be ready to make changes as needed when more information comes to us from the county." Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
All right, 6:04, and boy, oh boy, it is a hot start to the week, and that heat is not going anywhere anytime soon. This is a live look at downtown Indianapolis, where it's really going to feel like summer all this week. And Angela, I kind of feel like this is the second summer. We talk about fake fall, now we're into second summer.
And second summer is going to last, it looks like, through the end of the month.
Ooh, wow.
The 2-week outlook, temperature outlook, is just above average.
Wow.
Average in the upper 70s. We were 10 warmer than that today. We've jumped up to 89 degrees. If that isn't a misread on the temperature sensor out at the airport, that's the new high for the day. 88 Bloomington, Columbus, and Bedford. 85 degrees in Kokomo, 84 Richmond, and 87 in Muncie. We do have 90 in Terre Haute. Temperatures this evening stay in the 80s right on through sunset, and then we'll drop through the 70s during the late evening hours. Early morning temperatures on our Tuesday, upper 50s, low 60s. It will be a dry start. Sunrise on Tuesday is at 7:26. Summer heat in September. It's going to continue this week. Near 80 at noon tomorrow, near 90 for a high again. We'll put temperatures in the upper 80s, close to 90 for the next several days. Only weather issue tomorrow is across the southern part of the state. Air quality alert, Bedford, Seymour, North Vernon. If you suffer from upper respiratory problems, take it easy late afternoon, early evening. We'll look ahead to the 7-day forecast in the full forecast in a few minutes.
All right, see you then, Angela. Thank you. Tonight, a man is under arrest in connection to a deadly shooting from last year, and Metro Police say they picked him up during a weekend traffic stop. So the shooting happened last October. 2 people are now accused of robbing and killing 26-year-old Jose Hernandez on Indy's South Side. The second suspect, 33-year-old Brittany Norton, is charged with murder, robbery, and prostitution. The Indiana Attorney General says hundreds of Hoosiers have now submitted evidence to his office of educators making comments about the assassination of conservative political activist Charlie Kirk. Our Rich Nye spent the day digging into this issue on free speech for public school employees. So, Rich, what did you find?
Well, I found out that there are several public employees all across the state who are under investigation tonight for comments they made on social media that appear to condone or rationalize Kirk's shooting death. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is asking Hoosiers to submit evidence of those comments through his Eyes on Education portal. And his office told me today that they have received submissions from hundreds of parents and other concerned citizens in the last 72 hours. Ball State acknowledged that it's looking into 2 employees for their social media comments, but the ACLU of Indiana says public employees are protected in their free speech made outside the work environment in their private lives.
It's understandable to be offended by what people are saying. And it's understandable to want people to not say things that are offensive, but that's not how our First Amendment works. And that applies to public employees who are making comments outside of work in their private capacity. Any encroachment on that harms us as a state and harms us as a nation, and it's something that we should all be concerned about.
Danville Community Schools also confirmed that it is reviewing the comments of a teacher and will respond accordingly. Meantime, the Department of Child Services announced that an employee no longer works for the state after making a comment on social media that they called in poor taste regarding Kirk's death.